Okay, so let's jump right in. When you think about who's going to solve the world's water crisis, what comes to mind? Huge global organizations? Government projects? Well, what if I told you one of the most exciting new solutions is coming from a small IT company? A company that used to build software for steel factories. Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're going to dig into how a small team of tech experts completely pivoted to take on one of the biggest challenges on the planet, water pollution.
This Kenyan proverb really just hits you, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage for what we're talking about today. It's this powerful idea that we have a deep responsibility to the future. And honestly, it feels like the driving force behind the company we're about to meet. It's all about being custodians for the next generation.
So first things first, let's lay out the actual problem. Because for decades, when it comes to cleaning our water, we've been stuck in a classic catch-22.
See, here's the dilemma. To clean up our polluted lakes and ponds, we usually have to dump in a bunch of powerful chemicals. And yeah, they can work, but they almost always leave behind their own nasty residue. It's called secondary pollution. So you solve one problem, but you end up creating a whole new one. The world has been searching for a way to break this cycle, to clean our water without that toxic trade-off.
And this is where our story gets really interesting because the hero that steps onto the scene is not who you'd expect at all. We're not talking about some massive environmental corporation here.
Meet SejoongIS, a small IT firm from Daegu, South Korea, with only about 35 employees. I mean, think about that. Their world wasn't ecology. It was building complex smart factory software for industrial giants like the steel manufacturer POSCO. These guys were experts in data, automation, and efficiency. Not exactly saving the planet, right? So how in the world did this happen? Well, you can see it right here. The company started back in 2007, doing purely IT work. But then, in 2016, everything changed. The CEO, Sol Jin-hyun, was on site at these factories and saw firsthand just how bad the industrial wastewater problem was. And it was an observation he just couldn't shake. That one moment sparked a total shift in their mission. And just 2 years later, by 2018, they had developed this incredible new water technology.
So, what did this little IT firm cook up? They built something I like to call a smart water defender. Its official name is the SWIQ platform. That stands for Smart Water Intelligence and Quality. And this is where their IT background just shines. See, this isn't just another water filter. Oh no. It's a complete intelligent system that uses AI and IoT, the Internet of Things, to manage the entire water quality cycle.
The first piece of the puzzle is called SWIQ. This is the brains of the whole operation. The best way to think of it is like a super advanced radar system for the water. It uses all these sensors to constantly track vital signs, acidity, oxygen levels, you name it. But here's the superpower. Its AI can actually predict problems, like a nasty algae bloom, up to 2 weeks before it even happens.
Okay, so if SWMIS is the radar, then SWAS is the defense system. It's the muscle. This is the actual device that goes in the water and does the cleaning. But the brilliant part is, it doesn't just run all the time. It only activates when that smart radar system says, hey, there's a problem brewing. And most importantly, it cleans things up using an eco-friendly method, not a single drop of harsh chemicals.
And this just lays out how beautifully the whole thing works. It's a constant 4-step loop. First, the AI predicts a potential issue. Second, the sensors diagnose the problem with real-time data. Third, the SWAS device kicks in to improve the water quality. And finally, it reports all the data back, which is super useful for things like corporate environmental goals. It's smart, it's efficient, and it's totally sustainable.
Okay, so we know what it does, but how is it actually cleaning the water without any chemicals? This is where we get into the real magic behind the technology.
It all starts with microbubbles. The SWAS device creates these bubbles that are, on average, just 40 micrometers big. Now, to give you some perspective, that is smaller than the width of a single human hair. Because they're so incredibly tiny, they have a massive surface area, which lets them dissolve oxygen into the water like you wouldn't believe.
And we're not talking about just a few of them. This system pumps out a mind-boggling 48,000 of these tiny bubbles in a single milliliter of water. That incredible density is what gives them their power. When these bubbles eventually burst, they create these tiny shockwaves that basically obliterate pollutants at a molecular level.
The second part of this tag team is ozone. The device also generates about 5.4 milligrams of ozone every minute. You know, ozone is one of nature's most powerful sterilizers. It's an amazing oxidant that just tears apart pollutants without needing any extra chemical help. So you see how these two forces work together, right? It's this perfect 1-2 punch. The microbubbles load the water with oxygen and start the cleaning process, and then the ozone comes in and delivers the knockout blow to the tougher stuff. Together, they absolutely demolish things that cause bad odors, that control that toxic green algae, and they can even destroy dangerous toxins. And this is the most beautiful part of the whole thing. After all that cleaning, after the microbubbles and ozone have done their job, what's left behind? Just oxygen. That's it. No sludge, no nasty chemical residue, no secondary pollution. It completely solves that dilemma we talked about at the very beginning.
Now, this amazing technology isn't just some theory stuck in a lab. SejoongIS has already taken it out into the real world, and let me tell you, they have their sights set on a much, much bigger stage. The proof is right here. The SWIQ platform is already up and running in a bunch of places across South Korea like Songdong Pond and Andong Lake Park. They've even gone international, installing it in China's Fengtai Garden. And the results speak for themselves. In these places, they've taken water that was a poor 4th or 5th grade quality and boosted it all the way up to a healthy 2nd or 3rd grade. That's a huge deal.
And they are just getting started. The big vision here is to go global. They're already pushing into Southeast Asia, countries like Vietnam and Malaysia, and they've even set up a whole subsidiary in Indonesia to help them deal with their really severe water issues. The goal is to make this homegrown Korean tech a major player in the world's water market.
Which really just brings us back to this one final amazing question. It's a total David and Goliath story, isn't it? Could this tiny IT firm of just 35 people, born from the world of steel factories and data, actually hold the key to cleaning the world's water? You know, based on what we've seen today, the answer might just be yes.